This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. You're listening to the W Show on 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, watching us live on one of our social media pages. If this is your first time checking us out, thank you for making us a part of your day. And my name is Steve Walls, and as always, I'm joined by the other hosts of the show, Jazz and Noel. Good morning. How is everyone?
Doing great.
No, you rubbing your hands together like you got some stuff to get off your chest.
I don't know, man. I just kind of looked outside and it just looks beautiful outside. There's people like on their porches and I don't know. Good weather makes me happy, especially living here.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky because it's supposed to rain tomorrow and be a high of like 50. So if rain and cold weather are your thing, then more power to you. But I'm not feeling it.
Like I said, it looks like it's a beautiful day outside. I guess I'm wrong. It'll change here soon, but whatever.
On your parade, no.
He just doesn't want me to be happy. It's all right.
I saw him rubbing his hands together, like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Remember how he used to like kind of scheme?
Mine was more of a Birdman hand rub. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Birdman emoji. I got it.
Yeah, that one.
All right, I want to give a shout out to Kansas City native, of course, Raytown South High School graduate, Jabril Cox. Jabril was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys last week. So shout out to Jabril. I had an opportunity to coach Jabril in basketball at Ray South his freshman and sophomore year, freshman through junior year, actually. So he and his family definitely deserve that, and we'll look forward to checking Jabril out this year playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
I will definitely be checking him out, man. We definitely needed help in that linebacker core, so shouts out to him. Also, I would like to give a shout out to my mother. It is her birthday today.
Wow. Happy birthday, Moms.
Happy birthday, Moms. I don't think she's watching right now. I think she's doing something, but definitely happy birthday to her.
Yeah. And real quick before we get started, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that tune in each and every week, and just to the mothers all around the world. So happy Mother's Day to everyone.
For sure.
Coming up on today's show, we got a lot to talk about. What's going on in Greenbay? Aaron Rodgers, are they parting ways? We'll get to that. Also, the Pro Football Hall of Fame starts mental health program for players. Kudos to the NFL for doing that. And Floyd Mayweather and Jake Paul scuffle. We talk a lot about Floyd and his antics, and also Jake Paul. Was it real or was it fake? We will give our thoughts coming up. And Coach Scott Brooks thinks Russell Westbrook is the second best point guard of all time. What? Come on. And coming up in about 30 minutes, we will have our sneakers of the week during our Hater to Love It segment. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Now, Brett Favre says he's not optimistic Aaron Rodgers will play for the Green Bay Packers again. In an appearance on ESPN Wisconsin's radio, Favre on Wednesday detailed his text conversation with Rodgers and made comparisons to his own departure from the Packers in 2008. He said he had texted Rodgers last Thursday shortly after ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that Rodgers had told some in the Packers organization that he no longer wants to play for the team that drafted him in 2005 to ultimately replace Favre in 2008. He also joked that if he was going to play for the New Orleans Saints this year, referring to the team Favre grew up watching in Mississippi.
I love to see it. I feel like he's been getting mistreated for years. He's just decided to, go ahead and go full scorched earth and burn all bridges, all connections to the Green Bay Packers, which, I mean, congratulations. Y'all earned it. You've made one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time angry after, what is it now? This is 2005, so it's 16th year going into it. I'm just glad because he deserves to be on a team that actually wants to help him get that elusive second Super Bowl, especially now. So I hope they trade him. I hope something happens where he gets to a better situation because, I mean, at this point, like I said, Green Bay earned it.
Well said, no. One thing that we know is that Aaron Rodgers will be – we don't know if Aaron Rodgers will be in Green Bay next year. But what we do know is about relationships. And the thing about this thing is that it's been kind of a messy, rocky road this past offseason. And you all have been in relationships. We've all been in relationships before, whether it's a business relationship or whether it's, it's a relationship with your significant other, right? Sometimes it's not fixable. And I think right now, this relationship between Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, it's not fixable. First of all, Green Bay went out, and the reason, I think the straw that broke the camel's back, we know the saying, is that Green Bay went out and they drafted a QB. Not only did they draft a quarterback, but they also moved up to draft that quarterback. And it's like, okay, you go and draft a quarterback, and you have a like you said, a future Hall of Fame quarterback that's sitting right there that needs weapons and needs personnel around him.
Relatively healthy as well. Like we're not good.
And so you go and draft a guy, Jordan Love, and it's like, okay, so that kind of sent shockwaves through. You guys go draft a quarterback when you need another receiver, when you need small offensive linemen to make sure that your guy is protected, when you need defense, because the offense is pretty solid, but they've lacked on the defensive side of the ball for the past few years. So that's where they should have put their draft stock into it. I know you can get defensive players later on in the draft, but if you're going to move up, at least have the common courtesy to let your star quarterback know, because on NFL squads and on any team, if you're going to do something that involves the team, if the Lakers are going to do something that involves the team, who are they going to consult with? Their star
LeBron and AD.
LeBron James, exactly. So, and I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is LeBron James. However, he's
pretty damn close. He's pretty dang close.
He's close. So now Aaron Rodgers has all of the leverage. It's like last year he made it to the NFC Championship game. And if it wasn't for one play at the end, it's Chiefs Packers in that Super Bowl, but that's another story for another day. So he also goes out and wins the NFL MVP. So nowadays, the players is holding all the leverage. We saw what happened in Houston with James Harden. He said he wanted out and put pressure on the front office to get him out. And what did they do? They got him out. So my thing is that certain players on a team, when you have to listen to your QB, you just do. There's just certain guys on squads, and QB is the main position that you just have to listen to. We heard what Russell Wilson went through at the beginning of the season, or at the end of last season. He's like, they're not listening to me. I feel like this is what needs to happen. I need to get protection, blase, right? So they see what was going on in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes, and the way that Brett Veach and Andy Reid, they listened to Mahomes and let him call the plays, draw up plays, come up with his own stuff. They listened to him to get Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I mean, they see what's going on with other teams, and it's been successful.
I think what's going on there in in like a place like Green Bay, where they don't just have one owner, they don't have one guy who's like, all right, this is what we finna do. This is how we finna handle this going forward.
Mm-hmm.
They have a collection of people who own pieces of Green Bay. So when you're looking at these places like right now, Kansas City, anywhere that they have a star quarterback, they know like right off the bat, like, all right, we have to listen. If we have a star quarterback, he has talent. He's done a whole lot for our franchise to this point. We have to listen to him. I think when it comes to Green Bay, when they have so many different voices and that have a hand in the pot, it's kind of hard to like nail down one decision. I think that's kind of what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. It's just like everybody else is kind of like saying, oh, we should do this or we should do that, instead of just we have one owner, we have a GM. Those are the two guys that make the decisions. And I think Green Bay just has too many Chiefs, basically.
And just like what the Vikings did this year for Kirk Cousins, they told Kirk, hey, look, we're going to go take a QB, but nevertheless, you are our guy. So we don't want you to be blindsided by, these guys are drafting a QB. What are you thinking? Okay. What are you thinking? But, and I know Aaron Rodgers, some guys can get a little sensitive behind that, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be in the NFL forever.
Exactly.
So some guys get a little sensitive, but those are the only guys that I feel like get sensitive when in that type of situation are the guys that are kind of concerned about their job, right? If you're not performing, then of course, if they go draft, let's say the Chiefs, which they did, go draft another tight end, should Travis Kelce right now be concerned? No, because
he's an all-pro. He's an all-pro.
Like he's the best guy. I mean, other than Tyreek Hill, is the best receiver on the squad. So. Man, should Aaron Rodgers be concerned? No. Should the Green Bay Packers just let him go? I mean, you went and drafted your guy supposedly that's supposed to replace Aaron Rodgers. Now, and I get it. If Aaron Rodgers does not lead his team to the NFC Championship game last season or win the NFL MVP, they're probably parting ways. However, he still has some value. And if the Green Bay Packers are smart, if you're in rebuild mode, go get what you can get for Aaron Rodgers right now.
Which is a decent amount. It won't be equal return, but it will definitely be a decent amount.
Very decent. Well, Aaron Rodgers has 2 more years, possibly. I mean, teams are seeing what Tampa Bay has done and seeing what Tom Brady has been able to do playing at 43 years old. Aaron Rodgers is 38. So
or at least got 2-3 more years. I feel like
at least
one of these teams out here that has a win now roster. I'm looking at Washington. I think they have a win now roster. I don't really see him getting traded, anywhere in the NFC, if I'm being quite honest. I think they're gonna send him to the AFC if they're smart about it.
Yeah.
You don't want to see Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs or anything like that. They do still have a decent roster, so we'll see. I love it though. I hope he gets up out of there, man.
Yeah, me too.
And a new Georgia law legalizing college athlete endorsements also allows schools to take athletes' money. The college athletes in Georgia are now allowed to collect endorsements and sponsorships, and their schools can take a significant cut of that money if they want.
75% to be exact.
Exactly.
They can take 75% of the money that you yourself earn, and it's that I hate the NCAA. They so shiesty. The way they worded it is they're gonna like put the remaining money in a pool and redistribute it to the other athletes. No, just no. Like, come on. And I know it's that, and even the NCAA, they still are pushing back their court cases to actually get this, universally, I guess, nationally recognized. I mean, all these states, they're pushing their own laws. They're passing their own laws or how they'll do it. California, Georgia, Florida, these different places. But the NCAA, they just fighting tooth and nail to like not go with progress. And it just makes them look that much more dumb. Like that. I don't know. and it's up to the school too. So the school can actually say if they want to take $0 from the athlete, or if they want to take up to that 75%. I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah, and that 75% that you're talking about, whatever they earn, they'd be placed into an escrow account. And the other thing that the NCAA is kind of sliding under the rug, or it's kind of being slid under the rug that they're not talking about, is that the remaining guys on the team won't be able to withdraw that money until after they leave school. So they won't be able to have access to it for anything while they're in school, to grab a burger or something, because that's what it's going to amount to is just being able to go to McDonald's and getting a 10-piece chicken nugget. But I mean, yeah. And the only positive thing that I see that could come from this right now, the way that they have it set up, is that student athletes would have to take 5 hours of a workshop to prepare them for how to best manage their money. The money management class, I think, is the best thing that they feel like they'll be able to get from it, because I mean, they offer, of course, money management classes, and different organizations offer that, but now they'll be forced to take it. So I think that's.
But I think like an example of how the NCAA has this twisted, and they'll give you an inch, but you better not take a mile. And it's like, at this point, I mean, I'm not going to say don't even do that, but we know that it's not going to be used for the right reasons or delegated correctly for everybody. So I don't know. I just think that the NCAA.
Can you hear us, Jess?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think the NCAA is just trying to twist things once again. And I like to see it on one hand, but it's still disappointing that they still have to have their hands in the 75% at all.
Mm-hmm. And it's all about control. That's literally all it is. You can't manage money that you don't have. You can't financial literacy your way out of poverty if you're not paid a livable wage. And that's just the bare facts of it. They don't want certain players, especially players of color, to have any sort of financial advantage, even though they already have the physical advantage on the field. It's just it's silly to even try to control these players, these human beings, because even just to reduce them as just the players, it's still human beings at the end of the day, and these people just want control.
And 75% is a lot. Like, that's over half. If I'm generating 10 grand off of all right, let's just say Nike is going to send a player a hoodie. It's like, hey, just wear this hoodie and we'll send you a $10,000 check. All right, so I'm only going to get what, $2,500? Come on, man, because you're taking $7,500 to divvy out to the rest of the players. It's not my fault that they can't go get endorsements.
So how would it work if it was multiple? Like, say we're talking about a school like LSU, or Georgia. Let's say Georgia because it's in Georgia. If they have multiple players that have multiple like deals, like they take up to the 75%, and it all goes in there. Like, I don't understand how is this really helping the other players?
They're 75%. Let's just say North Carolina. If you have a top player, let's say when Zion Williamson was in school, right? Let's say Jordan Brand wanted to come and say, all right, Zion, wear these shoes because we saw that you busted out of your other Nikes or whatever. So we're going to sign you to Jordan Brand. All right, we're going to pay you $100,000, but the school is taking $75,000 of that. Right, so that's $75,000 is going to be divvied out to the other 11 guys on the roster.
So but what about
this? No, this goes across all sports programs.
Does it go across all? I thought it was just
that's kind of what I was getting at.
Wow. No. So again, you look at your top earning programs are going to be basketball and football, which are majority black athletes. They're going to make the money. and then your equestrian players, your golf players, your swim team, every sport that Black people have been historically kept out of because they're country club sports, they're going to benefit off the backs of the players from basketball and football.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
See, that's what I was wondering.
It just depending on if you're at a big school that has like all the sports, like UCLA or Ohio State that has all the sports,
or Georgia,
yeah. Wow, that's that's a lot of money.
So again, we're talking about control, and that's exactly what Brian Kemp wants. He wants control of the labor, and it's very see-through, but there's I think it's the ACLU that has already submitted a lawsuit, so it may not go far.
And the thing about it is the NCAA too is trying to put it back on the schools. Like the NCAA doesn't want to look like the bad guy, right? So they're going to put it back. Oh, well, no, the schools are going to make that decision. But at the end of the day, I feel like schools will make the right call, because if an athlete says, "All right, I can go get this endorsement," oh, but are you going to take? We're going to sign on them down right here, and if you're going to take that 75%, I'm withdrawing right now, and I'm going to submit my name in the NBA draft, NFL draft. So they know.
No, and they don't even have
transfer.
Yeah, they don't have to go to a Georgia school. They could just transfer and get money under the table from KU, or
like that will impact like recruiting. Like these kids will like actually go straight up to these programs and say, "Hey, man, if you taking anything over, I don't know, 20%, okay, I'm bouncing. I'm finna go over here to this school that I've been talking to as well, and they said they only gonna take 15. So like, what's the difference? Why should I go to your school?"
Right.
So. No, that's where it's going to go.
Year now, they don't have to sit out a year if they transfer too.
Better let them guys keep that bread.
If you're smart about it, you'll cut a deal with them.
Coach K, let him keep his money, Coach K.
Facts.
You know they will. You know that they gonna find other ways to get around that.
And Deion Sanders says HBCU players were neglected and rejected in the NFL draft. The 2021 NFL draft did not include a single player from a historically Black college and university, and Deion Sanders, of course, is not happy about that. Hugh, we'll start with you.
It's sad. I think part of the reason the NFL teams can use is really the truncated season that some of those HBCU programs had. But it's sad for them not to reach back and to recruit, some players, because, there is some talent out there. You could almost look at, the current rosters of NFL teams, and I forget how many HBCU players are active, HBCU alumni that are actually playing. But it's just sad, and it sends a message, and it doesn't send the message of unification and everything that the NFL painted on fields this year.
Yeah, and although 0 HBCU players were drafted in this year's NFL draft, some have signed with teams as unrestricted free agents. So, and this is another reason why Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes announced that multi-year partnership with the HBCU Legacy Bowl back in March, in which the game will feature, I believe, around 100 draft-eligible prospects playing in that showcase game. So, and that begins, I believe, in February of 2022. So they just need to be highlighted more, which is another reason that Deion Sanders took the job at Jackson State, because he wanted to get the notoriety. And we all saw how much notoriety that Jackson State got. Like, they were playing in summer and spring football, and ESPN was at every game. They showed highlights. So they just need a little bit more, TLC. Come and show some love to the HBCUs. Show some love.
Yeah, they'll it'll. I feel like after this season. Obviously, it's the first season post COVID. A lot going on, but like we're saying, these former NFL players are coming back and being coaches or pushing these schools. I think next year we'll see a boom. We'll definitely see a boom in like the amount of players that'll get drafted from these schools. So I'm not really too much worried about it. I'm glad he spoke out about it, though. It did need to be said because it's actually happened 9 times since the year 2000. So it's kind of a reoccurring thing, but I mean,
Yes.
it is kind of what it is at this point. But I feel like we're heading in a good direction with these guys coming back.
But if nobody holds the NFL's feet to the fire or these team owners to the fire, it won't change.
Once again,
you gotta hold the team's feet to the fire.
Nobody will, because all they'll do is coordinate some kind of like kneeling during the national anthem and require everybody and say, "Hey, we're all about unity."
Well, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we will continue our top headlines discussion, starting with some interesting news coming from the NFL regarding a mental health program for players. We'll discuss this when we come back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Dre, when he was younger, he loved to smile. And we knew he would need braces because his teeth were coming in funny. That's when he had the bunny rabbits. We called them the bunny rabbit.
Now, those are the same 2 front teeth there that they are now.
Then Dre ended up having to wear braces for 5 years because he never made it to appointments because he was busy playing basketball. If he missed practice, he don't get to play in the game.
This is the picture that was on the front page of the newspaper. All you can notice is the braces.
Then once he got to Michigan State, he broke the retainer.
My bottom teeth, they were really crooked, and I just wasn't getting braces again. Small Direct Club fits into my lifestyle so well. The liner is so great. It's easy to just grab it and go, and then I can change on the road. I did photo shoots with my liners in, and you can't see them.
I wish Smile Direct Club would have been around when I was paying for them. I wouldn't have had to take them out of school. I wouldn't have had to miss work.
It's like a great feeling to have good teeth. A smile is a first impression. That's why I think having a great smile is so important.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. But we'll start off with Football Hall of Fame, starting a mental health program for players. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has created an avenue to help current and former players and their families with mental and behavioral health issues called Hall of Fame Behavioral Health. The program's mission will be to make mental health and the treatment of issues surrounding athletes and those who care for them accessible and widespread. So we'll start with you, Noel.
I feel like this is kind of a response to CTE, which I guess is a good step in the right direction. Obviously, these guys have come off of all these head injuries and, just taking hits all your whole, career, and it'll wear on you. It'll wear on your body, but more importantly, it wears on you mentally. And I think it's a good thing that, that they're deciding to help these players and their families with, the issues that they face. So, I can't really say too much. I haven't done so much research about this, but I can say that, pretty good step in the right direction by the NFL. Necessary, though. Definitely necessary.
It is. And I like the mission, too, and which is basically saying that they want to end the stigma surrounding mental health, especially with athletes. Because y'all know us guys when we always want to play the macho, right? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm good type mentality. Like that's just how we roll most of the time. And we don't want to seem weak. But y'all remember when Cavs star Kevin Love opened up about his mental health, which was a great thing. And I believe that he was like one of the first professional athletes to start to talk about and push that push the whole mental health aspect within athletes. Like I think he was one of the first, if I'm not mistaken. But I think continuing to make it mainstream is definitely huge. With the NFL doing this now, are they possibly wanting to take away from the eyes of on that? When we talk about it all the time, I know Q, you talk about it, the CTE, that whole narrative. I think they really want to move away from that. Of course. So this is definitely a step in the right direction, and athletes definitely need it.
Yeah. It's for me, a lot of these announcements that the NFL makes is performative. Junior Seau had his incidents and then ultimately ended up taking his own life around 2012. So that's close to 10 years now that the NFL has left this matter really untouched. And they spent about 5-6 years fighting his family in court that tried to sue them for having a brain disease and CTE, and them doing nothing about it. So again, it's just performative. It's showing that the NFL does not care about the players and the humans that they put on the field, and they just look at them as a product, as cattle. And it's sad that the NFL, with such a brain damaging sport, that now in 2021 decides to roll out this mental health program. But it's long overdue. You even look at the NFL with, the infamous Allen Iverson line, it's just practice. And he was dealing with the trauma of his best friend being killed. But at the end of the day, we're talking about practice. So again, a lot of these professional and college sports programs just look at these people as just products to put on the field to make the money. And it's sad. It's sad to see. But having this initiative, like Noel said earlier, it's a step in the right direction. Something is being done, even though it's like too late because you've had players losing their lives. It's a step in the right direction. And you would hope that a multi-billion-dollar organization could do more to help the people that get it to be in a multi-million-dollar organization.
Yeah, and you have all the players' families. I mean, because there's a lot of research out there, even before, and I applaud, families of these professional athletes that have, committed suicide. And they've donated their brains to have research done on them to see if there were some signs of CTE, because even before that was taking place, there was a lot of research, because people aren't supposed to run into each other and smack heads at any type of speed, right? Because it just shows damage to your brain. So with that being said, the NFL should have already had this kind of emotion, and it should not have taken 10 years. But we're here now, and hopefully guys will be able to utilize this, and maybe it'll be able to spread over into the other leagues as well, because we've seen in baseball where there's been some questionable deaths that have happened. So hopefully it spreads over into those sports as well.
Definitely.
And after this season, the only way to regularly watch NFL's Thursday Night Football will be on Amazon Prime. What are you guys' thoughts?
It was inevitable. You look at how they tested it last season, and I believe the season before, they tested it out, and I'm pretty sure the numbers looked good. You have a lot of people that are moving out of having traditional cable and going towards these streaming services. And now there are also services like YouTube that starts bundling all of these packages. And so you've got a couple of different options now outside of cable, and the NFL is moving towards that direction. And you even look at the Nickelodeon games. So again, they're able to find ways to market, but they're not able to find ways to take care of their players. So again,
they get real creative when it comes to showing the product, but they ain't getting too creative when it comes to actually protecting the people that are putting the product on the field. But I mean, Amazon is taking over everything. It's only a matter of time before the NBA gets in on this. Any other, whatever Amazon decides to put his hands on, it somehow turns into gold. So I'm not surprised either.
And Shaq's son, Shaquille O'Neal, commits to Texas Southern. He says his goal is to change the narrative of nationally ranked high school ball players who choose historically Black colleges and universities, part of the NCAA's Division II over Division I alternative.
This is smart on his part.
It is.
He's not a high D1 talent, but at the same time, he's Shaq's son. He can like definitely say like, all right, let's change it, man. Let's go to these schools because he's definitely, I mean, just based off talent, he's probably a little bit above a Texas Southern. But I mean, he goes there, he plays ball, he's the man. He can be the headliner because a couple of these kids that did it last year. What was the guy's name who went to was it Howard?
Yeah, he went to Howard.
Yeah, he didn't have such a great season, despite being highly ranked. He didn't. I think he went through an injury or two. So they're still looking for that first big superstar. Again, our earlier conversations about the NCAA aside, all these kids don't even want to go to the NCAA, but we are still looking for that one big HBCU star that'll go there, and so he could be that.
Yeah, it was McCour.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But TSU is a great school. Now, there's one
great party school.
One you would know. There's one caveat to this, though. Shaq's son doesn't have to worry about money, right? Money's not like a thing that's in the stratosphere for him. So
Shaq gonna hustle.
Yeah. So here's the thing about that. So these other kids that have thought about, I mean, you see everyone talking about HBCUs now, but the thing about it is when you dangle Duke, North Carolina over here, and then you have Howard, Jackson State over here, Southern, all these schools over here on the other side. It's like, all right, do I want to get more? Will I get more recognition and possibly make it to the league going to those, blue blood schools, or will I take a chance by going to a TSU? Right? They're not going to take that chance because they're looking at it from a monetary standpoint. It's like, man, this school has so much money. My chances of going to the league have been much greater. So Shaq's son is like, all right, I've already got it. So whether I make it to the league or not, now I know he's probably not thinking that way. His whole thing is like, as a young kid, we all thought like, I'm going to the league, and he's thinking the same way. It's like, I'm going to the NBA no matter what. So that made it a lot easier for him to choose TSU.
Of course.
But the thing about it, the school's good too, though. Like, they are the fourth most winningest HBCU men's basketball program. So the connection, and then there's that connection between the head coach Johnny Jones and Shaq, because Johnny Jones was an assistant under Dale Brown when he was Shaq's head coach at LSU. So there's that connection. And then they ended the season on a high note. TSU did. They won the SWAC. Also made it into the NCAA tournament. Ended up losing to Michigan. So I mean, they're a good school. So it's not like I might not go to. That's another reason. It's like I may not make it to the NCAA tournament, so that way I won't get that much recognition. But they made it last year, and I want a quick shout out to one of our young guys, local native Michael Weathers, who played in our State Line Showdown high school game. He's the star of TSU. So shout out to Shaq's son, making that decision to take a leap of faith and go to an HBCU.
Yes, sir. And we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hate It or Love It segment and kick it off with our Sneakers of the Week. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Drake, when he was younger, he loved to smile. And we knew he would need braces because his teeth were coming in funny. That's when he had the bunny rabbits. We called them the bunny rabbit.
Now, those are the same two front teeth there that they are now.
Then Dre ended up having to wear braces for 5 years because he never made it to appointments because he was busy playing basketball. If he missed practice, he don't get to play in the game.
This is the picture that was on the front page of the newspaper. All you can notice is the braces.
Then once he got to Michigan State, he broke the retainer.
My bottom teeth, they were really crooked, and I just wasn't getting braces again. Small direct club fits into my lifestyle so well. The liner is so great. It's easy to just grab it and go, and then I can change on the road. I did photo shoots with my liners in, and you can't see them.
I wish Smile Direct Club would have been around when I was paying for them. I wouldn't have had to take them out of school. I wouldn't have had to miss work.
It's like a great feeling to have good teeth. A smile is a first impression. That's why I think having a great smile is so important.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Hate it.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off with our sneakers of the week this week, we have the Yeezy 500 in Flames. What do you guys think?
I like these. I like them.
Rocking.
I like the colors. You know, that orange and that brown with the tan. They go good. That's like a fall shoe, though. You know, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't wear those in the summer, but definitely fall. You know, going into winter.
That orange is hot. That
Yeah.
orange is hot. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I feel like I look good in orange too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a safety cone orange kind of vibe.
Mhm.
The Air Jordan 11 Low Legend Blues.
I got an issue with these. My issue is, and I guess I'm just old now too. That bottom is gonna turn yellow so fast, like it's gonna oxidize so quickly. But you know, shout out to everybody that got them. Like
What they're doing nowadays though is they're like going for the aged look on the translucent bottom.
Not me.
So yeah, I mean, you know, different strokes, different folks, something like that. But I think they're kind of people are doing that now to where they kind of actually oxidize it quickly, and they like kind of age the shoe, and it kind of looks fire. I'm not gonna lie to you when they did it correctly.
And then say if you wear these out, you know, to one of Fifth Avenue's events, up down nightlife events, once somebody steps on them, they smudged.
I mean, that's
it's a wrap.
I mean, yeah, they're an all white shoe, so that's pretty difficult. I wouldn't wear an all white shoe in the club. So
Definitely dangerous. And the Supreme Nike Air Max 96.
decent.
Decent. I mean, Kendrick Lamar said it on Hood Politics. Boo boo.
And you can see your toesy woesies in the side of the shoe. Like, did you know this is like a translucent?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I got socks on, so I ain't trying.
Yeah.
I got socks on.
No, don't wear these. The roast session would be never ending.
Man, I've never had a pair of Air Max 96s. I never really liked the way they looked, and obviously it's a high beast shoe. This is for these aren't for the people who actually like Air Maxes.
Yeah, no. When you wear these, make sure you don't have your Tweety Bird socks on.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I think I lost them in the wash. You know, I don't know where the other one went. So I just got one right. I just got one right now.
Yeah, I had a pair of 96s. I think it was like 8th grade, but that was because, you know, it was for my actually back to school shoe. That was one of the cheapest shoes that they had up at Champs, and I was able to get those. So that's the one I got as my back to school shoe, the black one.
Now, LeBron James rips play-in tournament and says whoever came up with this needs to be fired. Hate it or love it.
My man's frustrated. My man, he mad. He just mad right now, and I understand. You know, he injured. You know, his Lakers ain't playing good. It's him and AD fault. So he just frustrated.
Come on, Brian. Come on, man.
Now, did they qualify for the play-in?
So they lost to Portland last night. So in order for them to be like 6th seed, 5th, 6th seed, they would have had to beat Portland. So now they're in the play. They have to play in that play-in game. So
I mean, unless Portland loses a couple more games, I mean, I don't think it's I don't think it's solidified, but that game meant a lot for the tiebreaker.
Meant a lot, yeah.
And now, since Bron is possibly playing in that play-in game, you know how it goes. It's like, man, it's good when it ain't affecting me, but now when it's affecting me, I got a problem with it, and I have a problem with that, Bron. Come on, man, you gotta, when it's not going your way, you gotta, man. Don't let me get started on LeBron James.
He hurt, man. He's hurt. He's obviously he's hurt. He's hurt. He's frustrated. You know things ain't going your way. Your squad ain't hooping. Everybody's saying it's your fault. I mean, you bound to say some stuff that comes off as hurting. So I get it. I understand. But he got to hoop now. Like he has to hoop now.
No, you got to.
But don't put it on the guy that came up with the playing game. If I'm the dude that got the corner office and I came up with the idea of the playing game, I'm like, man, I ain't showing up. I'm sick tomorrow. Like LeBron calling me out. Come on, man.
He sounds a little salty. He just sounds a little salty. But Royals bring back Alcides Escobar on minor league deal. Hate it or love it.
Oh, I love that, man.
I love it.
For sure.
Love it.
I remember Alcides was definitely a huge contributor in the Royals World Series run. And he's a little older, 34 years old. But in that 2015 LCS, he was an MVP. And then
where's he coming from? What team was he coming from? Was he on another?
He was in Chicago last year. And now the Royals picked him up, being a free agent. But he's a Gold Glove winner. I mean, take that away from him.
Yeah, and you couldn't take his glove or his bat away from him. And especially in those couple of World Series runs, he was definitely a cornerstone. And he was second base or shortstop.
He was shortstop.
That's what I thought. Okay, because he was just a cornerstone over there. And a lot of the success that came from that team was definitely defensively.
I would definitely say that.
Yeah, because they played small ball well, but they also defended well. So
for sure. Now, Trevor Lawrence and Adidas unveils new NFT collection to support charities in Jacksonville. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
What's the NFT like? What is it?
So it's a physical card set that sold out due to high demand, and then now they're offering up a 6-piece NFT collection that was created in collab with Trevor's family members. His brother and sister-in-law are professional artist duo Chase and Brooke Lawrence, and they helped design the collection. And it has 5 open edition cards as well as a one-of-one auction signed Super Fractor card.
Yeah, it just makes me want to find the nearest card shop and go grab some cards, because it's definitely going. If he comes out in balls this year, which people are expecting him to, if he comes out in balls, you're going to be able to make a lot of money off of his off of a card that you can get right now for probably pennies on a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And then it's an NFT, so it's digital. So I don't know.
I was just gonna say,
get it.
Yeah. I was talking about like his rookie card though, like his actual rookie card.
That's a lot of pressure to go on such a trash team and a trash organization.
Man, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna take him a couple of years. I don't think he just off the bat gonna be like the world beaters.
Wish you're thinking, but
yeah.
Right. But DK Metcalf entered in 100-meter at USA Track and Field Golden Games track meet on NBC Sports. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
Love it.
Go ahead.
Love it.
Do your thing. Yeah.
Your friend of the show, DK Metcalf, of course.
No, definitely.
But I really feel like he can make something happen. He has to run with a 10-2 to be able to.
I mean, he tracked down the guy that caught the interception and ran him down this season. Yeah, like
if our viewers that are watching this on social media haven't seen that, here you go.
Buda Baker out in front. Can Metcalf track him down? Can he chase him down? And he does to save a touchdown. But what a play by Baker, intended for Carson. Wilson lofted it. We had mentioned Baker's name tonight on a defensive play. There he is.
Look at what happens. They're all right there. They come snap to the line of scrimmage to try and get it off quickly so that he's not confused on the defensive side. Buda Baker did not. But watch the play here by DK Metcalf. He is flying down the field. Baker thinks he's going to walk into the end zone, and Metcalf just refused to let it go. It was unbelievable how much ground he made up. That had to be 10 yards on a very fast Buda Baker, and he just tracked it.
Did y'all see how fast he's running past Russell Wilson? Like,
oh my God,
slow motion.
Oh my God, it's like he's an X-Men. Like, what is going on?
I told you he's made in the lab, bro. Like he's definitely was made. There's no way that you know humans are 6'4", 240, 250, and they can run like a 4.340. Like, what is that? Like, come on,
this
guys.
This is dope. But then also, Noel, we have to give him props for being ahead of the game because remember at the Super Bowl he was thighs out, and this summer of 2021, it's a thighs out summer.
See, but I told y'all the summer before, I was like, hey man, shorts is where it's gonna be at, and he came to the Super Bowl. He's like, I'm telling you, man, the wave was there. Like now it's just coming to a head finally. So, thoughts, Jazz? Thoughts on the
thighs out summer?
How do you feel about that?
No, I'm not a fan. Especially
really.
You got hairy legs. Not doing it for me. But
I mean. Skinny jeans had pushback too when they first started, and I'm sure Jazz loves those guys.
Okay, you just got to grow to love it. Because I'm not putting them up. It's too late.
Now, Floyd Mayweather and Jake Paul had some shenanigans. Let's see what happened first, and then
let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this ball.
Get Al Hammond.
Absolutely. I don't need Al Hammond.
Let me call Al Hammond.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss.
One night. Got your hat. Got your hat. Got your hat.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't think I've ever seen worse acting.
It's so bad.
But I love it. I love it because like the aftermath was greatness, and they like definitely set up everybody on the internet.
It's crazy though, because after the fact, Jake Paul already had it where he got a gotcha hat tattoo, and then he has merch, like had it already.
He had the merch available 30 minutes after the video dropped.
Yes.
So again, that just shows how like planned this was and how like poorly scripted it was.
Shout out to Jake, man. Shout out to Jake.
I love it.
Get in where you fit in, man. Because like if he makes $100,000 off this, I mean, of course Floyd's gonna take his percent. Whether it's a 60-40 split, Floyd's gonna want his 60. You still making $40,000, right? So come on, man. I'm with it.
Me too. I'm happy. Because I'm still not gonna watch the fight, but
yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Watching
come on,
fight,
you just asked me for the link.
Man, I asked for the link. You provided the link.
So you're gonna use it to watch? You're gonna use it to
watch? I'm not saying I won't use it, but I'll probably use it for other things other than this sham of a fight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying.
Now Scott Brooks thinks Russell Westbrook is second best point guard of all time. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
Sorry, wrong button.
Hate it.
I was gonna say, boy, what?
I don't agree with this at all.
Let's hear from Coach Scott Brooks.
Point guards don't do what he does. They're not built that way. There might be some that can probably shoot better. There might be some that probably can do certain things better, but there's nobody in the history of the game that can do what he does throughout the stat sheet. I used to always say he's going to probably go down as the third best point guard ever, but I think he's past one, and he's going to go down as probably the second best. And one is obviously Magic. What he does, there's no point guard has ever done it. Nobody.
Yeah, I had a feeling he was talking about stats. I mean, because it's averaging a triple double is insane. and especially on the teams that he's done it on, this team and then that Oklahoma City team. It's definitely insane. And you have an argument when you put numbers up on the board.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I definitely agree. The thing about it though is, so if there is a guy, some guys that are, we look at Charles Barkley as one of these guys that are considered some of the greatest players of all time that have never won a championship. He'll be in that category. He'll probably be on the top, top of the list, top 1, top 2. And of course his career is not over, but he's got to win a championship in order to solidify that. And I'm not saying that he's going to be top 2 point guards of all time, because I still can't forget, Steph Curry is listed as a PG.
Yeah,
like PG, man. I mean,
buckets. I mean, you got, and I can't say Dame, but you had Penny Hardaway.
You still have Allen Iverson
was considered a PG, and then Iverson was kind of listed as shooting guard.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but still, he had the ball in his hand for majority of the time.
Majority of the time.
Yeah. So it's still PG, but yeah, not number 2.
Russ isn't the number 2 point guard of all time. I'm a fan more of the Chris Paul type of guys.
Of course,
when it comes to that position. But Russ is one of a kind, period. Like, as a basketball player, he's one of one. Like Scott Brooks said, there is nobody who's ever been able to do the things he's able to do on the floor. And at being only 6'3", like, we're not talking about a guy. He's 6'3", grabbing, 16, 17 rebounds a game for stretches. And so I understand what Scott Brooks saying. I mean, maybe not number 2 point guard of all time, but definitely he's a one of one. Like, there is nobody else that will probably ever be able to do the things that Russ does for a team. So
yeah, I've never seen a guy play as hard as he plays.
Exactly.
Never.
Never. Yeah. So.
And as explosive as well.
He deserves his flowers for sure.
Now, Kawhi Leonard is working on a music project and will send proceeds to Mamba and Mambacita Foundation. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
I see you, Kawhi.
Let's hear from Kawhi.
Hey, Kawhi, congrats on the game. I want to switch it up just away from basketball. It was recently released that you're working on a music project called Culture Jam. Just wanted to get how long has that project been in the works, and what made you decide to work on that project?
It just merges basketball and music together. I mean, it's always been something on my mind that I wanted to do. So it's just something that could uplift our community, and a portion of each stream is going to go to the Mamba and Mamacita Foundation, and it's just something good for the community. You know what I mean? I've been working on a project probably for the last 6-7 months.
Yeah, shout out to Kawhi.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely love it.
Ex-Bengals wide receiver Chad Johnson to make boxing debut on Floyd Mayweather's Logan Paul undercard. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
Friend of the show, Ocho Cinco. Yeah, I love that though.
Everybody jumping in the ring. Go ahead, man.
I don't know if Ocho can throw him, man. I mean,
I ain't gonna doubt him. Yeah, athlete.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, sure. He's a multi-sport athlete. I wouldn't doubt him, but I just hope he doesn't Nate Robinson.
Yeah, that's the last thing we need.
And Carmelo Anthony passes Elvin Hazen to 10th on NBA's all-time scoring list. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Love it.
Melo's still out there balling. Still out there balling.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Suns Gorilla signs first ever mascot endorsement deal with streetwear boutique guest list. Hate it or love it.
You see the chains? That man is drippy.
Yeah.
Dang, you a hater. You a hater.
So many folks, folks are campaigning for a brand ambassadorship. Come on, look at it. Come on,
Steve.
Come on,
Steve is mad a mascot got a deal before him.
I'm not with it. I'm not with it at all.
I want to know who it is in real life. Like, who is that underneath the, like, does he get to, like, does the deal extend to him, or is it just strictly when he's in the costume?
If he doesn't have the outfit on, it's null and void.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And Naomi Osaka is one of 4 Gen Z superstars to co-host Met Gala this year. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, love
Going
it.
up. Love to hear
Yeah.
it. Love to see it.
I'm ready to see all the outfits within the theme, because I think the theme is crazy this year. It's like something to do with like plants or something.
Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching that for sure. And we appreciate everyone who watched us today. Remember, you can catch a rewind of our show on Mondays on 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, anytime on social media. And we also have a podcast of our show on the Sideline Sports Talk Network. Next week, remember, you can catch us right back here on The W Show. Follow us on social media at The W Show KC. And until next week, we are out of here.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.